Were your liver enzymes high?
I mean, they just drew the blood, so I'm sure I'll get that call next week. Yeah.
Hey everybody, Josh and Trevor here for the last Whiskey Wednesday of 2020.
Last one.
Really exciting. Today we're doing just something kind of a little different. Do something kind of our favorite entry-level scotches.
Yeah. Scotch is you can drink every day, don't break the bank,
Yeah.
but it's still good quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And, kind of covering a range of, regions and methods in this, and just kind of a entry to a different category that we don't do as often.
Sure.
And Scotch can be intimidating to get into, as a bourbon drinker. Sometimes to make that switch is hard.
Absolutely. I'll hear a lot of people say, I don't like Scotch. My usual answer is you probably haven't tried enough Scotches then. Scotch's taste profiles range so much that I feel like I can find a Scotch for any whiskey drinker.
Absolutely. I mean, just the difference, as we're going to say, from this one to this one is
extreme.
You wouldn't believe they're from the same category.
Yeah, I often tell people saying Scotch sometimes, it's almost like saying wine. Technically Chardonnay and Merlot are both wine, but they couldn't be more different, right? And
good wine words, Trevor.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. It's the same with Glenmorangie and Laphroaig. Technically both Scotch, but couldn't be more different taste profile-wise. So,
with that, let's dig in.
Yeah. First up is the Glenmo 10, Glenmorangie Tenure. Great price point, on sale, $29.99.
Yep.
And this one is one that I recommend often to people that are just wanting to get into Scotch. No peat at all on this one, so I usually don't like to throw people right into the deep end of peat if they're just trying to get into Scotch.
Yep.
So this is a great starter one.
Definitely. And what's cool about Glenmo is if you like the entry level one, they have tons of specialty finishes and all the way up to some of their really, really high end stuff that if you really get into it, there's a lot of experimentation you can do just within one brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Nose is really nice. I get a lot of fruit, and a really nice honey note as well.
I was gonna say on the palate, there's definitely a honey vanilla sweetness with almost a little bit of like a nutty aftertaste, almost like a almond or something like that, which leads me to believe that it's probably a little bit sherry. I don't know for sure, but it's kind of got both of those flavor profiles, the sweet sherry as well as the nutty sherry.
Absolutely.
So I would assume it might have some of that on it.
I think there's probably some sherry influence on this. I actually get like a nice little spice note right on the tip of my tongue that I really like too. This one, extremely easy drinking. This is a great starter Scotch if you're looking to get into Scotch. Great price point, so if you don't like it, you're not out a ton, but not too much to offend anybody in here.
Absolutely, yeah. And like Trevor said, for $30, I mean, that's a really great place to start on Scotch.
Yeah, I mean, an age statement 10-year Scotch for $30 is a pretty good deal.
Absolutely. So moving on. Up next, we've got the Famous Grouse Smoky Black. And you drink this one more than I do, so I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, this is probably the Scotch I drink most, actually. This is the one I keep the 175 big bottle in my house. The price point's great, $28.99 on this, very approachable. The big bottle I want to say is $51.99, and it's one that I keep in my house because it's cheap enough that I can mix with it. If I want to make Scotch and soda, I do that. I don't feel like I'm wasting anything.
Right.
But oftentimes I just drink it neat, or I really actually like this one with a couple ice cubes. I think the couple ice cubes opens it up really nice. It's called Smoky Black. It is smokier than regular Famous Grouse, but
right.
I wouldn't describe it as a super smoky Scotch.
Yeah, if you're someone who's like definitely doesn't enjoy peat, this just from the nose, it doesn't seem like it's big punch in your face like we're gonna get with this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, on the nose, I definitely get some fruit. I believe there's some sherry influence. This is a blended Scotch, so it's a blend of several different single malts, and I think there's just some grain whiskey in there as well. We've said before, blended Scotches get a bad name. I think sometimes they're automatically discounted as being worse than single malts, and I don't think that's always the case.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially at this price point, these two are $1 different and different flavor profiles, but both great Scotches.
Yeah, absolutely. yeah, you do get a little bit of that smoke on the palate. I think on the nose, it's not there at all. On the nose, I get fruit, some of that malty cereal sweetness. On the palate, I get that kind of wisp of smoke at the beginning, but that's pretty much it. And then it finishes kind of sweet, a little bit of spice. I actually like the little bit of smoke because I think it stands up and lends well against soda or against a couple ice cubes. It just makes it a little stouter.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've talked about before on here, doing like mezcal margaritas versus a regular tequila margarita. It just gives the cocktail another, element of the flavor.
Absolutely.
That's not there with something that's unpeated or without the smoke. So definitely just something to kind of play with and try.
Absolutely, yeah. If you guys haven't tried this one, definitely check it out. One of my mainstays. Next up is the Laphroaig 10.
So this is moving all the way to the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So Laphroaig, one of their things is, it's a big peaty punch in the face.
Yeah, I mean, often considered, one of the peatiest scotches. So, yeah. It's definitely there on the nose. You get that peat, that almost iodine-y. Yeah.
You get like a pine note.
And this one's, polarizing. People love it or hate it. There's not a lot of middle ground on Laphroaig 10.
Right. With peated scotches, I think that's where a lot of some people's bad experiences might have come from. Going for a peated scotch when you didn't know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. Because it is something you got to warm up to.
I think so. Like, this should not be the first scotch that you ever try, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really different, and you're either gonna love it or hate it depending on your taste profile. But
yeah, it's peaty. You get that smoke. There is some sweetness there though. I get like kind of a honey sweetness in the middle there. It's got a great mouthfeel though. I mean, it really like envelops your tongue quickly. The finish, I think, because of all that peat, is fairly dry. I get like a pretty dry.
Definitely dry finish. Yeah. I think there's like it's interesting. The spicy notes on the mid palate are really, it's like charcoaly. Like people use this in a negative connotation, but I don't. Like chewing on a campfire.
Sure.
Which, in this whiskey, I actually really like. I like the, peat. Like I said, I think it gives another depth to the flavor, but it is polarizing.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I get that charcoal for sure. It's definitely got like almost a little barbecue, kind of like fatty barbecue note that I get in there. It just, I don't know, it reminds me of a barbecue restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I can't place exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, I get it too. It really, I think it would go well with like a brisket or something like that. Sure. As you're sipping scotch while you're smoking something, might be get you ready for what you're about to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely gets the mouth watering, kind of like a good brisket does. Sure. So I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of the most popular Isla peated scotches for sure. I mean it has its following, and that following is huge. So huge. These guys are doing something right. Yeah. And as you can see, we've got another drawing this week, last one of the year. Moving forward in 2021, we're going to keep doing it. It's going to go down to probably once a month. We wish we had enough of these bottles to do a drawing every week, but we'd run out here pretty quick.
Not the reality.
Yeah. But we'll keep doing it at least once a month. So the box will be out still at the wine desk in the middle of the store. Same as always, one no purchase necessary entry per month, and then any Argonaut barrel picks that you buy can get you additional entries. We do have some good barrels coming down the pipeline. Pretty soon here we should see, I think, an Elijah Craig barrel soon. We have a light whiskey from Copper Sky.
I'm really excited about that one.
That one's cool. That's a 13-year like 140 proof light whiskey.
Some hazmat juice.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty bold. So yeah, there'll be a lot of good opportunities to get those extra entries in this month. So, all right, let's draw a name. All right. This week it is Nicholas Arias. Congratulations, Nick. You have won the opportunity to purchase this bottle of George T Stagg. This is actually last year, so this is 2019's Stag, which I really liked.
It was really good, yeah.
It got some criticism because the proof is lower. Like normally Stag's in that 130 range.
Right.
This isn't low proof, it's 117. But I really enjoyed this one. I got to try a sample of it last year, and then that made me immediately buy a bottle of it because I thought it was excellent. So
definitely. Yeah, all right. So last Whiskey Wednesday of 2020. Come on down, guys. Give it a shot, and we'll see you in 2021. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.